I'm Nick. I play guitar in Sienna Skies. We have also in the band Mick, also playing guitar, Wadey on bass, our vocalist Tom, and our drummer Damon. We've been a band for pushing 2 decades now, but officially started 2006, and it's been through a few iterations after that. But we're currently gearing up for our Hardest Part tour, named after our latest single, going around the usual stops, your Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide. But also going to Perth. And for the first time in a while, we're going to Wagga Wagga, Canberra, and we've got a Wollongong show in there as well. So very excited for that to do with some old friends of ours as well in Clay J Gladstone. And we've got a Virtue coming over from the States, of course, as well, who by all accounts are a pretty incredible band. So we're going to have to make sure we're on top of our game every night. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Beautiful. Nick, thanks for joining us today, my friend.
Good to be here.
So you mentioned that you are off on the Hardest Part tour, which is for the single with the same name that was recently released, mate. So I think it's about six,
Yep.
8 weeks ago now. So how's the song been received?
As far as I can tell, pretty good. I don't regularly get into the business of reading through every single comment. It's just pops up here and they're like, oh, that's kind of nice. But yeah, it's um nothing too overly negative. So I guess some cases no news is good news. And it seems to have had the seems to be about the other or the same general reaction we've had to the rest of the songs on that EP, which have been like, yeah, love the new direction. You guys can tell you guys worked hard on them, and yeah, we like to think the proof's in the pudding.
Wait out. She's a fucking brutal track, bro. But what's it about? Like when I listen to songs like that for the first time, I
Mm.
get the brutality. I love the music, and then at the end of it, I'm just like, what the fuck was that about?
I guess Tom could probably, being the lyricist himself, Tom could probably give you a much better explanation. But as I checked, it's essentially a bit of a narrative around second guessing yourself and getting inside your own head, which became pretty prevalent for us when we were actually writing this EP, like here and there. Like we started writing before COVID, but like during lockdown and stuff, obviously it's a challenging time for everyone mentally, and I think that was part of it as well. But kind of just that constant second guessing of yourself, like I bet guess it could be a bit of imposter syndrome, but yeah, going about your business and feeling like a fraud almost in the process. Then it's just a matter of getting over that, and you it happens with a lot of things in life. You do have to get over that kind of yeah, kind of just being too inside your own head to get what you want out of something, whether it's creative or anything else. But yeah, that's I believe it in a nutshell.
That'll do anyway.
Yeah.
What's going on with the film clip, bro? They just chucked you out in the middle of nowhere and said, "Fucking."
No, we were just we'd wanted an opportunity to choke Tom out for quite a while now, so it killed two birds with one stone, which is nice. But no, we I think we had some ideas floating around with it. Because with all the clips with these songs in this EP, we worked with our mate down in Melbourne, Gareth McGilvray, incredible bloke, like behind the lens. But also like not from just a technical perspective, like he just has uh, a great mind to kind of work. We've just worked ever since we kind of did the first clip with him. I think it was for Quarter Life years ago. We've just been, I don't know, just conceptually, we just everything's really easy. We're like, okay, we want to get this across. He'd be like, oh, I know how we can do that. How about we do it kind of like this? And we're like, yeah, that's even better than what we imagined. That's fucking sick, man. And that was the case with this one. I forget, which who proposed which parts originally, but we took the subject matter of the song, thought, okay, I think it was mostly Gareth like championing that part at the end. It's like I'm picturing Tom in a dark room, hands grabbing at his throat, and just, all this stuff kind of happening. And then, yeah, as it happened, we had a um, contract with one of our friends with a property that would be a perfect spot for it for like the outdoor kind of full band shots, but also for those kind of more dramatic, angsty scenes with Tom and the Duck. And then the whole, I think was it that one we kind of got creative going in and out of the ground, which was kind of cool. Um, but the fun part was I think one of the spots was a spot we found kind of in the I'm not sure if you call it a marsh. It was like the banks near a river up on the central coast. So we're kind of like pulled up beside on the side of the road and doing this kind of mid-morning, and a couple of looks and questions we got from people walking past was a bit. What do you go? Is that a drum kit? What are you guys doing in here? Like, nah, just filming a clip, mate. They're like, oh yeah. But everyone was really understanding. But I really like those shots just came out incredible as well by the time he was done with them. So it was, yeah,
Very well, and that sort of puts the chore poster in a bit more perspective because I was checking it out, and to me it looks like a homeless man is strangling himself. In perspective a little bit more.
yeah, it does give off that vibe, doesn't it? Being touring, or not full time, but like touring musicians, that you are at some point you will look slightly homeless, you know, as you're going through the motions. So, but I guess let me take another look at it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess I guess we wanted the angst to come through, and I feel like with a hand on the throat with that kind of yeah, kind of black and white thing, I think it kind of achieved its purpose. But
right.
yeah,
Or one of you guys,
struggle is real.
is that his own hands on his throat, or is one of you guys choking him?
You know what?
Looks
I
like
th
he's doing it to himself.
I think it's if I were to take a random guess, that looks like a bass player's hand. I reckon that's weighty.
Like, can you tell by the manicure and
Yeah, this he's like got a bit. I don't know. I feel like I'd be able to recognize it for my own hand, and I'm not a I'm not a
that?
I'm not much of a fighter, so I probably would have picked a more uh softer spot. I don't.
We might move on from that. This is
Yeah,
going
yeah.
real quick.
Taking a dark turn.
That's it. Now, so the hardest part is taken from your EP, only change it's permanent, which was released about 6 months ago, mate. So does that wind up the cycle with that? Is that the last thing you're going to release off that EP?
Off this EP, yeah. So yeah, I guess it's the last cab off the rank. We might have touched on it at some point of the last year or so, but we really tried to make these six absolute bangers instead of running the risk of having a longer album with some filler kind of in between. So yeah, for this EP, this will be the last one, but we're hoping we can get a bit more mileage out of it. After this tour is done and dusted, and then hopefully a little bit more as we kind of write, the release that's going to follow it up, which will hopefully do a good enough job. We'll find out.
I got a strange feeling you're not going to answer this, mate, but
Hmm.
the way you've said off this EP a couple of times, it suggests that you've already got something out there ready to go straight up.
We're working on some things. They're not quite at the meat and bones of a lot of them are done, but because since we haven't yet decided, how it's going to look, we can only kind of yeah, I guess say so much at this point. But
And from there,
as always, we were like as they say, unless you keep your ear to the ground, you'll never hear the buffalo coming. So yeah, everyone keep your ears open. We should hopefully clarify what's to come soon.
I'll be the dickhead laying on the ground there looking up, going, "Where is this buffalo?"
I'll be waiting for days.
Now, to celebrate this single coming out, mate, you're hitting the road, as you mentioned before, for some shows are starting November 2nd.
Yep.
So, um, like I know you guys only wrapped up a tour earlier this year, so there's bound to be some cynical people out there that go, "Oh, fuck, I've only seen these guys 4 months ago," but I know something special planned. Like, how are these shows going to be different?
With these shows, we've kind of we're making a little bit more around like what the band is today. So um, we're kind of focusing on like obviously the newer songs, but as a whole, the songs we've kind of written since Tom's been part of the band with a few kind of I guess perhaps Easter eggs or tidbits to make the set itself kind of just an experience. Um, it's not it won't be completely night and day from the last tours we've done, but we're kind of aiming for some different venues, and we try to bring the same vibe to every show we play in every city, but we try to match that and beat it every time as well. So if anyone was questioning whether they should come see us again because it's been 5 or 6 months, we say
Have to
come
get
along and we'll show you. Yeah,
hands around their throat when they walk out.
that's it. It's like each you can each line up to strangle Tom.
Strangle a homeless man.
Yeah, that's it.
You touched on this before, bro, but you've got US metalcore outfit of Virtues coming out for their first Aussie tour, and they're a fucking great band, bro. But so's Clay J Gladstone that you've got too, man. But
Oh yeah,
probably get much more different across the three bands, mate. Like it's a nice eclectic mix.
yeah, and that's something we've always aimed for over the years, just in general. We've been part of tours where it's a real mixed bag, and at least for us, it works well. As a band because we're kind of we love all kinds of different music and playing with different kind of bands. We've never been like we only want to play with this kind of band or these kind of people. We've always enjoyed that kind of diversity amongst a bill, and we the shows we've been to ourselves and been a part of, we enjoy that part ourselves. So I think it's for the most part, it's all at the end of the day kind of alternative and has a slight edge to it. So we think there will be a lot of crossover, maybe more so with us and or Virtue, with the post-hardcore circles. But it's all heavy rock at the end of the day. So I guess going to those shows ourselves over the years and like seeing this random, this band we've never heard of before, like, oh, what's this band doing on the bill? And we're like, actually, that band was fucking sick. We like that people to experience that surprise coming to our shows as well. And in this case, being our tour, we get to kind of have a say in that. We want kind of this diverse mix and all the rest. So we're not going to put uh, a complete wild card on there, but like generally I think have historically steered towards those kind of lineups that are a little bit different and not just what you'd expect in three bands of very similar circles, that kind of thing.
Besides from everything else too, bro, like the Clay J boys are just good fucking fun. They're
Oh
good,
yeah,
aren't they?
I really hope we can keep up with them.
Mate, good luck. Back at
On stage and off stage.
stage, I'm sure you do fine, mate, but off stage, I'm sorry, bro.
Oh
Get it back them.
yeah, yeah. No, my money would be on them as well.
Now, one of the shows you're playing on the way around is Broth and Fury Festival in Adelaide, bro. Like you got bands there like there's Fear Factory, Die Artist Murder, North Lane, Psychroptics, so many, man. But
Yep.
any you're really looking forward to seeing more so than others?
I mean, there's a lot on there. I need to refresh myself on the entire lineup, but there's some old, like, real heavy rock kind of heavyweights from Australia wise in there. I've never seen live before, which I'm very keen to see for the first time. But I guess it's always a good time seeing North Lane, and it's been a while since I think most of us have seen that as well. So on that score, it could be. I think it's going to be a little. It's going to be a bit of a proud moment after we all kind of, we've obviously taken some slightly different paths, but we all kind of came out of a very similar heavy music scene in Western Sydney from all the years back. So to see those like bands in particular headlining those stages is going to be like,
Fuck
that's
yes.
it. Fuck yeah, boys. Fuck yeah. But also, for all the other bands coming from afar, like absolutely stacked lineup. I might just get that lineup back up here now, Chris, because it's
You spoke with the singer
man.
from Dharma, the Taiwanese fucking Buddhist black death metal band that are coming over.
Oh,
They sound fucking awesome.
forgot about them.
They've had people crowd surfing at their gigs in the lotus position because they're a Buddhist band. Like, how fucking cool is that?
Wait, I'm trying to think what the Lotus position even looks like.
I know I'll probably make an ass of myself here, but isn't it the one where the fucking they fold their legs sort up and
Oh, okay. I'm just struggling to imagine how you get forward motion, but I guess I'll find out
yeah, well, if
seeing it for myself.
had anyone in Australia doing one of them, he'd be a fucking happy man, mate. So if you want to get behind, try and whip up a few people doing it, mate, you'll make yourself a friend for life.
We'll see if we've got the flexibility.
Oh, you don't
Maybe.
have to, bro. We'll throw other people up there and get them.
Oh, right. In that case, we'll go for it. But also refresh myself on the lineup now. I haven't seen Hands Like Houses in quite some time, and think we've played with them once or twice over the years, and we've always enjoyed stuff they're putting out. But man, I should probably let my brothers know we're playing with Fear Factory. I feel like he's going to wet himself a little bit. I know some of the boys are definitely keen to be either backstage or side stage for Body Jar and just lose their minds as if they're a teenager again. So that part, among others, is going to make for a hopefully fucking incredible day.
Doing it. So just say someone's come along to Froth and Fury because like festivals like that, people don't know every band, obviously. So give us
Yeah.
three Sienna Skies that they should listen to get ready to see you live.
What was that, Chris? The three? I missed it.
Three songs of yours that they can
Oh,
listen to get to know what to expect.
ooh. I would say definitely Let It Burn for one, because from that they'll probably get our, you know, for the most part, heavy kind of punchiness with the melodicness that we try to bring into a majority of our songs. So yeah, Let It Burn, but also Don't Let Me Go, one of our recent tracks from the same EP, which is a bit slower and softer, still heavier, but it's like a kind of a different and slower vibe. The other third one would probably be also off the same EP, Cut Me Off, because it's got a bit of a, it's still heavy, but it's got a bit of a slighter pop punk vibe to it, I dare say. And we're hoping that really kind of translates to the festival stage a bit better as well. Since we kind of wrote that song, we've been imagining, oh fuck, this would be incredible on that kind of stage. So we're really
Right.
hoping that translates. So yeah, between those three, I think that should give everyone a pretty good idea of what they're in for.
Wait, bro. Now, before we let you go, I've started a new segment up called Photo Bomb, where basically before I talk to you, I troll through your social media pages. I come up with a few photos that I want to know more about. So,
Oh, okay.
bring me a
You,
photo.
I mean, depending how far you're willing to dive, Chris, you'd have your pick of the litter with us, mate.
I do sort of try and be a little bit fucking tentative feelings. Now, with this one, I
Oh,
don't know what the fuck is she looking at because everyone else is looking the other way.
that is a great question. Um,
You
that
weren't doing
even
this on the side of the stage, were you?
I who knows? Maybe she was cheering on security. But unless I mean it's usually me or Mick at those corners of the stage, so maybe she was just really keen on one of us
Or
compared to the rest of the band. I don't know.
happy with whatever she was looking at.
It's a mystery, but what does seem apparent is this is looking like at least 13 or 14 years old just
Uh,
from
I did
the watermark.
write down the years from actually. I think they're all around 2013-ish, I think.
Okay, all right.
You know, that might have been another band, but this next one, I want to know
Yeah.
what the fuck's what it's supposed to be in the van.
I would agree, and it would be we would have preferred it still be in the van at that point as well, Chris. I guarantee you. But this was just after we hit some wildlife heading down to Melbourne on the of Mice and Men tour. So in preparation for the tow truck to arrive and uh, Wadey's sister coming down with a hire van for us to load everything into and complete the rest of the tour. This is what we did in preparation. We're like, all right, everything out of the van because it's getting towed and we're forgetting about it for a couple of days. And we just need to, yeah, get this out and do the switcheroo and off we go.
Oh, there's this
So
very neat orderly too, bro. Who's got OCD in the band?
yeah, that was definitely not me kind of spearheading that. I think that might have been Tom spearheading that effort. It was a it's hard to remember exactly because we're also sleep deprived and kind of like, shit, how are we gonna can we make the show? Is this gonna work? Is this gonna happen? But yeah, it is kind of neat and tidy considering it's on the right side of the road, isn't it?
Very, very impressed, brother. Very impressed. Yeah, last one I got for you is this
Ah,
going on there.
right on. So this would have been shooting, I believe, our clip for No Place Like for my album Darker Shade back in 2016. And this was on a another friend's property we had access to. And given the nature of the song and what we had to play with there, Luke, our cameraman, was just like, yeah, we need these tools. I'm gonna get these shots.
Oh, right, is
So
that
that's a whole. I forget the actual. I don't know if they call it a crane or
right? In my
something, but there's
mind,
the camera on the top of it somewhere. Yeah.
made up a big slingshot or something out of it. Like my hand went in the complete wrong direction with that.
No, it's just something, just an overly excessive tool to bang drummers on the head so that they play in time.
Fair cool. All right, Nick. Well, thanks for your time, bro. Been a pleasure as always speaking with you. Sienna Skies are out on the road from November 2nd. You got 8 dates around the country. Where can people get tickets and find out more information, bro?
They can head to our socials. We've got links there for all the upcoming shows and ticket links. So yeah, Instagram, Facebook, you'll find yourself to our page there. So, or if you can't find it, feel free to hit us up and we'll direct you, we'll push you in the right place. Yeah.